What we have here is a bike called the Warrior. We were commissioned to build the bike for the Warrior Voices organization. Started off as a 1979 stock Harley-Davidson Sportster. Gave it to us as a basket case. Went through and tried to tie in as many military type influences into the gas tank. Started off with a conceptual drawing to see what the thing was going to look like done, and then we added a lot of detail. Started with the grenade. Got the grenade. You have the microphone back here for the tail light. You bring those two together, and this is the microphone tail light combination on the seat that was done by Enoch Langston Leatherworks. Started with the seat first. Normally you build the bike, you do the seat last, but we built the bike around the seat. It was so cool. Moving into the front here, we have the Torpedo Headlight. Got some brass accent with an LED light there, going for that distressed look. Springer front end, and then that going for the oiled brushed copper look here. Tied into some brushed nickel-plated controls. Down into the Harley-Davidson spoke wheels. Played around with a lot of different powder coat, and then the powder coat, this was Lee down at Pristine Powder Coat, was able to get us a texture to make it look like it was rusted. We're running Harley-Davidson front caliper on here. It's got a 1200, the stock 1200 motor. We went through the motor. It's got high compression pistons, S&S E carburetor, Black Widow cams, and then bringing that theme in to tie the whole thing into the bike. Again, with all the aluminum stuff, we're tying in that rust look on the powder coat. Split rocker boxes to make it look like a knuckle. Run the coil up above. And here's the oil pressure gauge, and something that was kind of a cool accent was bringing a 50 caliber shell and then putting that into the stem. This would be probably one of the few Harley-Davidsons out there that has actual true dual exhaust. Copper raft to kind of cut down some of that heat. Moving into the oil tank. Going for the theme again, you know, trying to see how many military things we can bring into it. Running a bomb oil tank, and then tying in all these little shells to bring in that military theme into that motor. Running JB Ford controls, all machined, black powder coated. Running in, still running the kicker on it, still works. Cut the frame in half, and to get the bike to where we want stance. Stance is probably one of the most important things on here. Is to we cut it in half, turn it into a hardtail. Again, we got the primary down here with the transmission. Bringing in that color again, the forward controls, and then of course, you know, you can't have a bike unless you have a toggle that powers up to be just like a tank or a fighter pilot. Powered up. You got your start button here. Right in this area here, this is probably one of my favorite details, is we're able to bring in that 50 caliber shells and use those for the head bolt covers and the main stud covers down into the motor. Tied in all of the primary, has all the shells on there. Here's that nice pipe wrap again. And I don't know if you can get down underneath here, but we built custom Gatling gun mufflers. These are the only ones. They're designed as a performance pipe. They're all got ran. It's all done in a black ceramic. And then, you know, of course, you run them, give it that distressed look. Sounds really good. And then for a little bit of storage, you know, can't have a bike without some ammo cans. Did some custom ammo cans here. Use that if you're out riding, want to throw in your jacket, throw a bottle of water, whatever you're drinking for the day, and then you just tie that in there. Custom rear fender. This is a solid brass microphone with an LED light in there. Black struts to hold the fender up. And again, on the back wheel, we're running American Elite tires. The only tire made in the United States, made in Brooklyn, New York, Buffalo, New York, sorry. Brought that theme in there with the rust again. And if you can zoom down in here on this side, you can look at, wanted that really distressed look coming through here. And you can see that sprocket is all powder coated to make it look like rust. And then some copper accents as far as, you know, the bag mounts go. Even down here underneath the springs, buggy springs here for the seat, got some copper in there. But yeah, it's a beauty. And this bike is called the Warrior. Now moving over here to this bike. This bike here is called the Beelzebub. We just put it together last week. Got the paint back, John Pugh, one of the finest custom painters in the United States. You can zoom in here, you can see all of this cool work that he did. The way that I can explain it to you is kind of a watercolor effect on the graphics, tied in with a lot of different pearls. On the back here, we're zooming in, we have a nice LED light, and we have the only set of custom Gatling gun mufflers made for a bagger. And this is on a Road King base. Stretch bags, that fiberglass, all that stuff. Made the tank, I stretched the tank down and utilized a 07 Dyna gas cluster with the aircraft gas cap. Tie that in there. I don't have the dash on right now. We're doing a custom made Dakota Digital speedometer. That's all going to be done in red to match the theme of the bike. Nice nacelle. Of course, that's stretched out. This whole ring right here is machined by Headwinds and then chrome plated. And as you can see, I don't know if you can pick up all of this nice effect on this paint, but you can bring in that pearl, and then you can see a lot of the detail that John Pugh brought in there. Running a set of 21-inch, 3.5 ride right wheels, custom made spokes, one of the baddest spoke wheel guys in the industry. And of course, when we get down to my favorite, we get down to the power plant. You know, nothing's finer, and you don't have to explain it, but when you're running an S&S motor, everybody knows who S&S is. S&S 113. It's got a billet 45-degree manifold that's coming off there for power. S&S G carburetor. And then with this third here, you got the third circuit added in. Lee Wimmer made this custom velocity stack for us. Shaved off the, normally you would have a running board mount. Shave those off, and I'm using a soft tail forward control so I can stretch out a little bit. This bike is nasty. Scott Yamasaki, unbelievable. It's all match ported, flowed. All of the fittings are all done in an AN fitting. There's no hose clamps on any of this fuel line at all. Moving down into the cam cover, this is all powder coated. I kind of wanted to go for that aluminum look. It's done in a silver. PM, hydraulic clutch. High torque starter, and then we did the exhaust. It's got true dual exhaust. The inside pipe, if you can see through there, is silver ceramic coated. The outside is done in a black ceramic, and those are tied up underneath the, going up underneath the bag. And you can't see right here, but this is all the main control. You can see how nice we take pride in on how we wire the bikes. This bike is run in dirty air out of Kansas City. It's got air ride front and rear, and this bike is squatted down. Coming back over here to this side, you can see that we're running a Pingle performance-based petcock right here. And again, talking about how nice the lines are. Everything is done in an AN line. Forward controls, working on the primary, and then we're doing some little detail things on the covers here. You have to stay tuned here in the next couple of weeks to be able to see some of the little additional paint things that we're doing. PM hand controls, working into the front brake is hydraulic, and then here's the hydraulic clutch. And then of course, this piece right here is near and dear to my heart. This is done again by Enoch Langston Leatherworks. The bike is Beelzebub. There's 150 hours in this seat, and you can see all of the hand tooling that was done on the seat. You're working down into this little, this weave right here, this Mexican braid. Takes 2 hours to do 1 inch of that, so he put a lot of love in the seat, and it was the icing on the cake right here. So this is Beelzebub, brought to you by Roy's Toys Customs out of Centennial, Colorado. Have a good night.